Hey, Tim's Tips here with part 2 of our 2,500 mile video. And I want to show you the advantages, what I've learned a little bit more about this van. And for example, the open frame architecture here, advantages and disadvantages of it, as well as many other little tips here. So here we go. So some of the advantages of the open frame are that it can be used for many spaces. And as we go through, you can kind of see some of the stuff we're left with. This was fully stocked when we left on our trip, but this is kind of what we leave in the van. And it's nice. You can kind of see what you got, both here and here. And so I kind of like that idea. We also have an open frame for the stepping out of the van. Open frame for the electronics. We had trouble with this 12-volt charger. It's a solar charger for the starter battery, the engine battery, and it had a burnt terminal, and I was able to just open this up and maintain it while on the trip very easily. The water tank, this represents about 8 days worth of traveling, and it also was used for washing dishes, some minor clothes washing. So you can see how we only use, this is 21 gallons used approximately in 8 days. So here we have the kitchen counter. That worked out real well. We had to have 2 fans here. You can see the mini split head here. And the problem is it was real cold back here, and the cold air would sink to the bottom of the floor. And the people have been pushing air around to the front of the rig. So that was very helpful. Refrigerator worked fine. We had plenty of ice, plenty of food. So here's our toilet. So the toilet here worked out real well. We just love the toilet, especially at night. And we have curtains here instead of doors. Number one, you get privacy. And number two, you get flow through. So we're able to have this, the fans going and flow air through the rig. But there's another problem. When somebody has eaten some food that is not so hot, or maybe a little too hot, we get some smells, definitely some smells. So that was pretty rare that happened, but if you had a bathroom vent, like a typical van, you could exhaust that there. However, our solution was to exhaust it here with our big fan. So what I would do is turn on that fan and exhaust, as shown on my previous videos. So yeah, overall, the whole concept of the open frame is great. Everything was cooled. The refrigerator had plenty of cooling. Microwave, we had it on convection. So there's convection mode on this microwave, and we're able to cook just about, bake cookies or whatever we wanted in there, and it would get hot, but as you can see, it's open all around so the heat could exhaust. So I slept here on this small couch, and what I would do to prepare it for sleeping, I would take this and I would sleep right here. Just get some covers here, wrap the foam piece in a cloth, and then sleep on it. Worked out pretty well. In fact, we needed it. One time we had my daughter with me, and we had 4 people in this van. They were calling for 100-mile-per-hour winds, possible tornadoes, and my son actually, instead of sleeping up here, my daughter slept here, and my son slept down here. So what's nice, we had the bikes outside in a sort of mini tent that we could buckle down, really tie it down, and then we had the ability to sleep 4 in here. We possibly could have slept 5 people because of this. So I have an inflatable bed to span across the 2 seats. So there you have it, a van that could possibly sleep 5. So my son is 5'4", and we had a mattress pad down here. We had him diagonal on the floor, so he was perfectly protected in the harsh weather that was coming. And kudos to my son, who lived with his parents for 3 weeks in a van. Where are you, man?
All right.
Do you wish to go over to the helicopter area? Take a helicopter ride or?
I can't down here anymore. I can't. It's so freaking cold.
And a shout out to my daughter Tammy, who visited us on her 7,000 mile or 6,000 mile road trip. Visited us in Oshkosh and slept with us, toured the grounds, and appreciate her stopping by. And here's our route that we took. At the farthest away we got was Oshkosh, Wisconsin, where they had the big air show. Had 608,000 people attended with over 10,000 aircraft. So it's the largest, most busiest airport in the world for a week. So this is a shot from our campsite where we parked along with many thousands of people. It's just a boondocking site, but we stayed there for a week and got to see over 1,000 different seminars and events going on. It's an astronaut there on the right, people from NASA. This is a lady who flies with no arms. She's a celebrity. She was on the Ellen Show, and just you meet all kinds of people that travel from all over the world to come to Oshkosh. Here's another fellow that traveled around the world. He was a paraplegic and recovered. These people bring with them stories of hope and inspiration about any setback you might have in life and where you might want to take your life in the future. Give those nice juicy dreams, and this Oshkosh is just full of people like this. Taking this out of order, this is Mansfield, Ohio, where the Shawshank Redemption movie was shot. And it really is a big deal there. I guess it's a very good tourist area to go. I highly recommend it. You could really take a whole day there. This is Christian sitting with the inmates. This is Christian where I hope he never has to go. Just really sad and happy that this place closed down. It's just amazing what, 100 years ago, what they had thought in the 1890s when this was built. And now it's a kind of a historic landmark and a tourist attraction. It's just really fun to go look around what people were thinking back then. So the next part is the Kankakee Museum, Kankakee, Illinois. I've always wanted to go there. And I'm not sure, but I think this teenager actually had some fun at some of the boring museums and got to maybe experience some culture, including the culture of Route 66 here out below Chicago. Went to this Midwin Prairie grasslands area. We were looking for bison. They had 100 acres, so we did not see them, but we did have a good bike ride. Also the site of an old army base, so we got to see some bunkers. Tim Stiff's here at Midwin Prairie Grasslands, and we found a bunker because it was an old army base. Left.
He's pretty.
Oh, you got one too, yeah.
Oh, that's the same kind that just came to me.
It's pretty. Look at his dark eyes. A dark streak around its eyes. Other one says, hey, let me in on that.
Come over here, I got some.
That yellow tail, it's beautiful.
What the? Did you see that?
Went to the Cave of the Mounds just west of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Oshkosh, that whole area was once an underground ocean and left these beautiful caves and also mounds. So we went on top of the mounds, went below them, and just got to know Wisconsin a little bit better. So I hope you've enjoyed our summer trip here, 2,500 mile road trip along the Lincoln Highway. and so there's so many more things to do that I haven't shown you. We had to pick and choose, but obviously there's hundreds of more things to do. So I appreciate you listening. Now, what was happening back home while I was away, I helped arrange a visit from Janet's Planet, which is the Bill Nye Science Guy female version. She brings kids, she has a space camp, and I helped arrange them visiting our local airport and give kids a chance to learn more about STEM, science and technology, through aviation. Speaking of aviation, this is my next project. At Oshkosh, I bought an airplane, actually a kit. I'm going to be building this kit over the next several years, and my goal is electric flight. So I'm going to put an electric motor in it and fly for almost something like $3 an hour cost. So stay tuned for more interesting Tim's Tips videos. And as always, please subscribe.